Hey everyone, I would just like to give a caution before reading that the imagery is quite descriptive on here, so if you can't handle gore well, I'd like you to avoid this story. Now that I gave a heads up, I can begin the story. I was about 8 or 9 when this happened to me. At the time, using a computer was still a new thing for me. We are roughly talking about 12 years ago, where as a kid, you only used a computer, or in my case, my grandma's laptop, to play games and simply search dumb stuff on the internet. Now, a little context. I never really told this to anyone, because it's kind of a tricky conversation to come to, and the deep web at the time was pretty much still unknown where I lived. I remember that a couple of times my uncle, who we lived with and who was in his 20s, used to borrow my grandma's laptop as his computer was still extremely basic at the time. Whenever he finished, he would just return it to my grandma, and she would never question anything that he downloaded. Looking back now, they should have password protected the computer or shut me away from it, because this shit was traumatizing. I remember looking at a blackish icon on the desktop. I don't remember the name of it, but I was curious what it was. Now looking back, I'm not actually sure what it was. So if anyone has an idea, feel free to drop it in the comments. When I clicked it, it brought up a Firefox type of browser. Everything looked the same. Nothing was off. At the time, we used to have a Hungarian form as front page as we didn't know much about Google. So we would just search stuff through that engine and it would work just fine. Naturally, nothing seemed off. However, when I tried to search up some animal videos, because I wanted to watch cute animals, I came across an English title, which at the time was gibberish to me. Apart from this one word, gorilla, which is pretty much the same thing in Hungarian. So I clicked on it, and oh boy, I wish I never did that. The browser took me to a website which was completely black and had a red counter on the bottom left. There wasn't too much time left, about 3 to 4 minutes, so I thought I would just wait, as maybe it was a buffering time, which was extremely believable because our internet was utter shit. Even now, when I think about it, my heart rate increases and I just feel sick to my stomach. The counter stopped at 0, and the video began. I saw this girl. To my best guess, she must have been around 17 to 23. Just casually laying on a mattress on a floor, then she sat up. It was kind of hard to tell much detail as the room was mostly dark and there was only just a slight red light that barely made anything visible. The pixels didn't make it any easier to see either. I felt as if it was streamed and filmed at 360p. It felt like she was waiting for someone to come in. She was completely naked, and it gave off the vibe that she was paid to do the deed. Or at least, that's how it came off. Suddenly, a chair door was pulled up on the left side of the screen, and I saw the gorilla walk out. At this time, my heart was beating so fast that I was surprised that I didn't pass out. All the alarms were going off. But me as a dumbass 8-year-old, I wanted to continue to watch the video. The gorilla first seemed shocked, then it became extremely aggressive and charged at the girl, clawing her eyes out and ripping her chest off. I saw the blood drip everywhere and the gorilla started eating the body, which was by now motionless. The shock wore off, and that's when I said, "Nope," and closed down the laptop very quickly. I sat in the corner and cried for a good half hour, and I realized that I should have probably closed the tab so I don't get told off. With my shaky hands, I opened the laptop and I was met with a lost connection to the server, error page. I could never erase this shit out of my head and always dreamt about it at the time as it gave me big time trauma. But until this day, I am scared to share this story with anyone because I don't want them to think I was a psycho and just made up this story because I want attention or something else. Please, if you ever saw this and got scared for life, please, for the love of God, tell me that I wasn't the only one who saw this. Shout out to my superfans, Sweet Black Swan, Casey, and Brooklyn. I really appreciate you guys supporting my channel, and I really look forward to making more content for everyone.